as you said, Professor Goldish, you're covering a period which is the early modern period, 450, 1500 to 1750. What is the state of Sephardic Jewry, again, generally speaking, during that period? Is there a difference between Western Sephardic Jewry and Eastern Sephardic Jewry?
Okay, this is a big one. So first of all, we know that starting in 1391, in particular, when there were a lot of anti-Jewish riots across, again, what is now Spain, across the Iberian Peninsula, there was a lot of pressure on Sephardic Jews to convert to Christianity, and that culminated in 1492 when the Jews were expelled from Spain. Many of them escaped to Portugal, which is also on the Iberian Peninsula, very close to Spain, and has a similar language, where they were promised that they would be left alone, but they weren't. And in 1497, that whole community essentially was forcibly converted to Christianity. So that was the situation in the Iberian Peninsula, in Spain and Portugal, up to 1492. And as you can imagine, after 1492 and 1497 in particular, there are many, many conversos, that is to say, converted Jews who are living forcibly or more or less forcibly, some by choice, as Catholics in Spain and Portugal. And some of those people are always trying to leave. Some of them assimilate okay, but the Inquisition is at work and it's always a threat. So some of those people are always trying to leave. And there's always a trickle of those people leaving all the way into the 18th century of conversos leaving and trying to go to other places in Western Europe where there's no Inquisition. When they do escape and go other places, not just Western Europe, but Ottoman Empire, North Africa, the land of Israel, when they do escape, some of them continue to live as Catholics. So, for example, southern France, which is just over the mountains from northern Spain, has a very large number of people who are almost certainly descendants of conversos, but they have been Catholics, really, for 500 years. These people, these conversos, might go any kind of place and remain living as Catholics. They might join a Jewish community that exists. They might start their own Jewish community. So we'll put those people, as my Rabbi Blau says, we'll put that point in abeyance for a moment and get back to the actual Jews. So many Jews, maybe half of them, leave Spain in 1492. They go to various places in the Ottoman Empire, in North Africa, and Italy. And it takes quite a while. It takes really a generation for them to kind of find a place to go and settle down. Many of them die on the way. There are diseases that run rampant. Many of them end up trying to go to a community that can't accept them. They're not able to absorb more Jews for political reasons and whatever. They're left high and dry, different places. A lot of them go back. They find that they have no place to go, no place will accept them. A really considerable number of them go back. My friend David Greisgord has written a very interesting book about the ones who return, and other people have written about that. But a considerable number of them managed to settle, especially in the Ottoman Empire, North Africa, Italy. And those people generally are absorbed into those communities. And that is what we refer to as the Eastern Sephardi diaspora, the diaspora of Sephardic Jews who go to those lands and are reabsorbed into the community. Over time, when you get toward the end of the 16th century, the people who are managing to escape, the conversos, right, that we were talking about before, who managed to escape from Spain or Portugal, uh, it's probably very uncomfortable for them as adults, as people who have been living as Catholics, sometimes for 3, 4 generations. Uh, Many of them are successful business people because they don't have any limitations on them the way Jews used to. Uh, they they are uncomfortable going to existing Jewish communities. They've never practiced Judaism per se. They might have practiced some crypto-Jewish practices, some attempts to remember what it was like, but they don't know how to operate in a Jewish community. It's very uncomfortable for them. Also, there are these new Atlantic oriented trade centers in Europe, and some of these people are very interested in being involved in the Atlantic trade as well as Mediterranean trade. And so some of these escaping conversos go to places like Antwerp, Amsterdam, London, Livorno, um, Bayonne, Bordeaux, and Hamburg, and they go there as outward Catholics, and they continue to keep up an outward Catholic identity, but they create sort of secret Jewish conventicles in these places, secret Jewish cells, and some of them, right? Certainly not all of them, but some of them want to practice Judaism, and the long and short of it is that over time, their secret comes out. And even though these are places, right, London, Amsterdam, these are places where Jews are not allowed to live. They're not allowed to be there. But a few of these people are very important and successful merchants who bring a lot of tax revenue into their adopted countries. And so the decision is made, not in Antwerp, but in Amsterdam and London and Hamburg and so on, to either ignore the fact that these people are practicing Judaism or to accept them as Jews and to allow them to stay. So that is what is called the Western Sephardi diaspora. The Western Sephardi diaspora is made up more or less entirely of people whose origins are from conversos, people who had been practicing Catholicism in the Iberian Peninsula for usually multiple generations. As my teacher, Joseph Kaplan, has pointed out, for many of these people, the community that they create, the Jewish community in Amsterdam, London, and Hamburg, is the first Jewish community they have ever seen in their lives. And so they have a lot to learn about how to be Jewish. So that's kind of I know that was a long-winded answer.
Yeah, that's fine.